first step is you are going to need to decide what surface you want to use for your bar. I am using an actual bar that I constructed from a kit, as well as a freestanding wine shelf that I salvaged and painted. To make these surfaces a bit more festive, I used fake grass as decor. I snatched this from someone who was going to throw it away. I didn't have a purpose for it at the time, but I rarely let craft supplies go in the trash, just a little tip of mine. Anyway, I cut the turf to fit the shelf units, and then I also created a little mat on the bar to hold supplies. Set out common liquors like rum, gin, and vodka, so that guests can make their drink of choice. We're a whiskey family, so while I am missing that momentarily, I'm using some little airplane whiskey bottles here, which is kind of cute to have in general. I'm placing everything on top of a mirror tray, but any tray would work well, and I complete the look with sport memorabilia. Plastic cups are the best option to have. Red Solo cups can work with any drink, and I also have plastic wine cups. I do put out a couple of rocks glasses and highboy glasses for anyone who likes their drink in an actual glass. Go ahead and set these out as part of your bar setup so it's one less thing you have to worry about. I stack the cups in 3 piles of varying height to make it look a little nicer for plastic cups, and then my glassware goes on the shelf right underneath. Again, I add just a little touch of sports memorabilia to finish things off and make it look a little nicer. An item that is often overlooked on bar setups is an ice bucket. This one is actually a vintage piece that belonged to my grandmother. If I hadn't gotten it from her, I probably would have never gotten one myself, but I highly recommend an ice bucket so that guests aren't constantly looking for ice. There are a few basic tools you should have out, like an ice tong, a strainer for cocktails, a mixer for cocktails, a wine bottle opener, and a beer bottle opener. You can keep them all out on a mat or put them inside some type of holder like I did here. I chose an oversized beer mug to stay festive. If you have a cocktail shaker, it's another tool you can put out. Even if it doesn't get used, it kind of completes the professional bar look. I like to put out an additional cup for helping to mix drinks. And last, add some festive napkins. A cute touch is a jar full of straws. I do have some metal straws in here, which are fancy and environmentally friendly, plus some fun striped straws to go with the football theme. I put them inside a mason jar lined with turf. Final touches, I took this metal vase and turned it into a wastebasket. Put that on the bottom shelf just as a convenience for guests. I also added my cocktail book on display for any guests who need a little inspiration, or if I want to make a special cocktail for someone and don't know how. And there you have it, my simple bar setup that I do in the beginning of football season that lasts me all season long.